Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is one of my favorite videos to share. I share this video about 4 times a year, about once a season or so. It is my homeschooling favorites. So all the things that we are really loving in our homeschool, or things that we've brought in that were a hit, or things that, you know, it's been a while since we've used but have re-emerged as a favorite. So today I am going to be sharing all of the things that we have enjoyed from summer and our first month of school. So this is my summer homeschooling favorites. That was a long intro. Sorry, grab a cup of coffee. I can tell it's gonna be a long video. All right, let's go. Today's video is in partnership with Variety Fun. We love receiving this box every month in the mail. You can also gift a Variety Fun box to a friend and send a care package in the mail, which I think is a really sweet option right now. What I'm showing you, what we got this month, was the Fun Box. It is full of fun goodies and little treats that I don't typically have on hand, and it's really fun for me to be able to pull that out of the pantry every now and then, or bring things in the car for the kids. They also have the Fit Box, which has healthier alternatives and good solid snacks as well. You guys can get 30% off your very first Variety Fun box using the discount code in the description box below. We really love Variety Fun and their efforts toward giving back. So thanks so much for Variety Fun for sponsoring today's video, and I hope you guys check out that discount code down below. Okay, so if you are new here, my name is Abby and I am a homeschooling mom of 4 kids. My kids this year are in preschool all the way up through 6th grade. And so I kind of have all sorts of different stuff for the different age groups. The first favorite that I have to share is not a physical thing to show you. That is our schedule for this year. I don't usually self-promote in this way, but if you haven't seen that video, I'm gonna link it up here. Our schedule this year is working out really, really well. I can usually tell by the first week of school if it's gonna work or not. But I think because I didn't modify much from last year, it just was a really smooth transition. And then we kind of hit a couple bumps in the road as a family personally with some outside things we needed to take care of, and the schedule kind of ran itself, which is always the goal with homeschool. If the kids are in a good rhythm and things can run organically without me having to make each thing happen, it's great. And that's exactly what has happened in our first month of school here, and it's been amazing. So I really love our schedule, and I think the thing I love about it most is just that I get that hour with Annie, my youngest, before I start working with my other kids, but they're also getting things knocked out and done, and I'm just some days we're done so early, and I kind of panic a little, and I'm like, ugh, did we do enough? And then I think back through everything they've done, and it's just running really smooth. So obviously something's gonna happen now that I've said that. That's gonna be a huge bump in the road, and we're gonna just have to redo the whole schedule. But as of right now, it is the 3rd week of July right now when I'm filming, I think. And so as of right now, our schedule is going really great. So that is my first favorite. My second favorite is for my preschooler. I invested in a couple of educational toys for her. I'm a sucker for educational toys. You guys know this. This is essentially what I built my channel on, or educational toys. I love them so much. And I've seen this floating around for a really long time. I went ahead and got it. Some learning resources toys were on sale on Amazon the other day. And this has been such a hit. So basically it's this little, what is it even called? The Veggie Farm sorting set. So you kind of set this up, and it's really well made. In the pictures online, it looked kind of flimsy. And then you have this foam mat here, and then you have these little buckets that can come out, and then all these different vegetables. For every color, there are 5 different veggies. Yes, so there's a little broccoli, a little onion. Let me see. Yes, there we go. A corn, a carrot. I think that's a carrot. Maybe it's a beet, and a pumpkin. And then there's orange, yellow, red, green, and purple. And then you have all these different little cards here in this bag, and you can have them sort things by color. You can have them sort by number. You can do some simple addition. You can just sort by veggie instead of instead of by color. And she's really enjoyed this. So we've done some patterns. Her favorite way to play this is she'll get them all organized by vegetable, and then I'll swap a couple of the veggies and she has to figure out which ones I've swapped, but she's really enjoyed this. If you haven't seen my schoolroom tour, I'll link that up here as well. I have like a little 3-tier cart that I use for her preschool, and I've been rotating things in there weekly. And this was on the bottom tier this week, and she's really, really loved it. So that is my second favorite. And by the way, I did finally get an Amazon storefront. I'm kind of like technologically challenged, and so I actually had to call Jessica from the Waldock Way, and I was like, Jessica, how the heck do I do this? Like, I know how to do the Amazon links in the description box, but I couldn't figure out a storefront. I finally have one, so I'll link that below, and all of these things will be the first thing you see there when you go over there today. On that same day that Learning Resources was having a sale, I grabbed these mental blocks. I couldn't wrap my head around what these were. The reviews were really high, like everyone really likes these. And I was like, so they look at a card and then they build the blocks? I couldn't figure it out. It is actually really challenging, and I have the kids challenge me when we sit at the table and do it together, and they just crack up because I'm really bad at it. But it's really good. So basically you get all these different shapes, and they all have different colors or patterns on them. And then the way that we've been playing it is you'll look at one of these challenge cards. I'll have my kids look at it for 10 seconds. There's also a way to look at it to do this as a team, but I've just been having my kids do this individually. So say they look at this challenge card for 10 seconds, and then I put the card down, and then they have to look at all of these different shapes and try to build that. Now, the way you're supposed to do it as a team is you'll have 2 teams. Somebody can look at it from each team for 10 seconds, and then another member of the team after a little bit will come look at it for 10 seconds. But we've just been doing it individually as like an icebreaker before morning basket. And I have to say, Eli, my 6-year-old, is the best out of all of us at the table at this. And I am 100% the worst. Like, I will think I have it, and then I'll start building it, and I'm like, was it a polka dot or a striped ball or triangle? And then it throws you off, and then you forget everything. It's really, really good. We're really enjoying this. It says 5 and up, but like, if you don't have 5-year-olds in your house, if your kids are like 10 and up, I really think this probably would still be a worthwhile investment. Let's switch gears from the games for a second. I do have quite a bit of games. Random, but this oatmeal is like a teacher's favorite. Teacher Spotlight. This is my homeschooling favorite right now. We start our school day at 8 a.m. I wake up around 5 a.m. and I do some work. Sometimes I'll have like a coffee and like something small for breakfast, like maybe like a little mini Cliff Bar or a handful of granola. Like, I'm not super hungry right when I first wake up. And then we'll just kind of roll right into our school day. And around 10, I'm starving. And I have to be careful about what I make, because then the kids will want to stop and eat as well, like during school, and then it just turns into like, now we're doing dishes. But we don't have a microwave. I do everything on the stove, and I just heat up some water in our tea kettle and pour it in here. And my kids are not big oatmeal fans, so they don't ask for anything when I'm eating this. This is like the perfect mid-morning pick-me-up. It's think thin, protein and fiber, hot oatmeal, Madagascar vanilla, almonds, and pecans. One bowl is 190 calories. I don't know if that does anything for you, if y'all want to know any of that. 10 grams of protein, not going to tell you about the sugar. 2 milligrams of iron, meh, I don't know. You can cut up a banana and throw it in there as well, just get a little bit of extra something or other, or throw some blueberries on top. But I get those at Sam's in a 6-pack, and I have them about 4 days a week during school, so it's perfect. It's my new routine. These Hijack books have made another appearance in our homeschool. These were the books that really helped Jesse gain reading confidence after we did All About Reading, and then he read through the My First Reading Library. Eli has followed the same system of doing All About Reading and reading My First Reading Library. So he is reading these independently this year instead of reading them with me. And I thought he would read maybe like 1 a week. There's about 5 chapters, I want to say. They're just early chapter books. Is there 5? Maybe 4 chapters per book. The print is large. There's a lot of pictures inside. But it has really, hey John. it has really just blown me away, like how interested he is in these stories and how quickly he's reading these. So he is reading these every day, one a day. He is just flying through these. So he's gonna read through this series, you know, he'll be done within a week with this series, but he really loves these books. He's always excited to tell me about the stories, like what kind of like shenanigans Jack is up to. If you're familiar with Usborne books, the Jack is Billy B. Brown's best friend. So if any of your kids have read the Billy B. Brown books, then Jack is their best friends or cousins, I can't remember, but they're very similar. So these are a favorite, and it kind of makes my heart a little sad that we're about to put these on the shelf until it's Annie's turn to read them. So we've had good memories with those books. I credit a lot of my kids' reading confidence to this early chapter book series. Let's see, what's next here? Let's do, I knew I was gonna love this. You guys knew I was gonna love this, so I don't even know if I should go too in depth because it's no surprise, but Sing a Song of Seasons. This is a nature poem for every day of the year. I have had my eye on this for a very, very long time. Never gave myself permission to get it. Finally got it in April or May, and I just couldn't wait to start the school year till we could start reading through these, and my kids are loving them. I'm loving them. They're just short poems for each day of the year, so we've added it onto our little morning basket calendar time. And I mean, I knew I was gonna like it, so that's all I'll say. Next, I got this hundreds board from Treasures from Jennifer. These are like little wool balls here. They're teeny tiny, and one of my girlfriend's toddlers discovered them, so we were searching all over the house for them. So I'll just throw that one out there in case that's the stage of life you are still in. But I got this for Annabeth to work on, you know, it's 1 through 100, or to work on some patterns or some skip counting, things like that. But there are multiple ways you can use this, and I do intend to get on the website and kind of do a little bit more research about using this for multiplication for my 4th grader to see if that helps him visually a little bit. But I'm really liking this, and this has stayed in her little cart all 3 weeks of school so far. And even if it's just color sorting or doing patterns, she's really enjoying that. What have I done over here? Okay. Speaking of multiplication, I got Monster Sock Factory for my kids, and this is really fun. So the way that this game works is you have a timer. It's a collaborative game. There are ways to play it, you know, multiple players, but we've just been playing it as a family. So you have a timer, you set the timer, and then you will get a card. So say you pull 16. So then you have an order, you own a Monster Sock Factory, and you have an order for 16 socks. So there's these 3 different monsters that you could be fulfilling this order for, and I guess they would be 2, 4, and 8 is probably what that is. I haven't memorized the monsters. But then you would make multiples of that number to fulfill the order. So say you get 4, you would need to quickly lay out 4 of these little 4 cards. It says 4 socks on the back for the 4-legged monster, and then you would be done with that order, and then you get your next order, which is 27, and you try as a team to fulfill as many orders as you can before the timer runs out. And it's just fun, you know, because the timer's going, you're all working together, you're trying to remember your multiplication facts quickly, and you also have to find them because you have to find the monsters, sort through them quickly. Like I said, there are other challenge cards in there. There are challenge cards where you can like add or take away a certain number, like you plus or minus 1 or plus or minus 3 to change it from like 27 to 30 if you need to. And then there's also challenge cards with higher numbers as well. So that's been fun. That's another one that I've had my eye on for a long time, but I just, for whatever reason, didn't grab. Next. The Usborne Lift the Flaps are my favorite forever. I'll always have these in my house, even when my kids grow up and move out, just waiting on some grandkids, I'm sure. But Lift the Flap My Busy Day is one that I have really enjoyed with Annabeth for a couple of years now. It's just sweet. It goes through a mouse's day, like time to get up, and then there's all these different flaps you can lift. They're super interactive, so it's like, what do they do? And you know, then you find this, and then you open this. And what are they doing at school? Then it's kind of like search and find all these things at lunch. We've gone through this book no less than 10 times in the last few weeks of school. She also really likes the Lift the Flap Shapes one, but I wanted to just show you guys again that they're interactive. So it's like lift the flaps to see the shapes of the presents they have hiding behind their backs, and then the animals have hidden the presents in Bunny's house, and she found them and unwrapped them, so then you just find them and match them up. So I really like books that are not just like for entertainment, you know, that they're kind of like thinking a little deeper with. Speaking of books, I'll move on to this one. Paul Revere's Ride is just representative of the fact that 5 in a Row is of course one of my homeschooling favorites, but the reason for that is that this is the first year I'm doing 5 in a Row with just my boys. My daughter is in 6th grade this year. She needs some independent work time, and so I'm using that time to do 5 in a Row with my boys. My toddler is doing before 5 in a Row, and so I just have them this year, and they're just, the two of them together are just a different dynamic in our house. Like, we don't have, Bella's definitely our ringleader, and then we have Annie, who's just the boss, and my boys are just much more mild-mannered. And so I wasn't sure what to expect with doing 5 in a Row with just the two of them, but it has been such a blessing to me to kind of get on their level and kind of just hang with them. So I'm sure we are going to be making a ton of 5 in a Row memories this year. Paul Revere's Ride was the first book we did this year, and it really got them all fired up. They loved the different crafts. They were like having fun with the vocab. So that is 5 in a Row, just always one of my favorites. If you have ever seen one of my videos where I mentioned cat crimes, then you will know what dog crimes is, but it's essentially the same thing as cat crimes, where it's a who's to blame logic game. My camera was beeping at me. So you get this little game board here, and then you have all these different dogs and their names, and then you have these extra little things you can add to the game board, like you've got a broken vase, and you have somebody's homework was eaten, and then you will get one of these challenge cards, and everything's falling all over the place, so I'm having a hard time showing you. You get one of these cards, and it will give you some clues. And what I like about, I love logic games and logic puzzles and everything, but what I like about this is you have these manipulatives, so you can kind of move things around and see if you like the setup. So like potentially, like, was Daisy sitting here, or was Cider sitting, and you kind of move things around and until you figure out like who did it. So that's always helpful to have like an interactive experience with a logic game. And these are really hard. The cat crimes ones really stump me sometimes. So the dog crimes was just a new one to add to our collection. And I guess the last thing I have to show you is this alphabet matching, my first memory game. But really it just represents that any matching game, I think, is Annie's favorite right now. But specifically the alphabet has this one that has the uppercase and the lowercase, but there's like a million of these out there. I will link this one in my on my Amazon store, but again, like, you can find things like this at any like toy store or dollar store even sometimes, or even printing them offline. Memory matching games are not my favorite. They never were. I can even remember as a kid not enjoying them, but she loves them, and that automatically makes me love them. So this has just been fun. It has been very time consuming. Obviously there's 26 letters in the alphabet, so it takes a while because we do lay them all out. When we first started, I would like pick 5 of the letters and find the pairs and put them out, and then we would just start with 5, but she kind of caught on and was like, there's a lot more cards we're not using, so it will take us sometimes almost that whole hour that she and I have together, but it's a fun way, a sweet way to engage with her, and she really enjoys them, and she is like really good at those, so take that for what it's worth. So those are my current homeschooling favorites. Let me know down below if you guys have any of these items, or if you share some of these favorites with me. If not, let me know what some of your current favorites are. And like I said, all this is linked in my description box below if you want to shop around and grab any of this for yourself. If you guys like homeschooling favorites videos, give this video a thumbs up. I've missed making these. I think I might have missed doing one in the spring maybe, because it feels like it's been a really long time since I've done this. But anywho, I will see you guys later. Thanks for sitting around through this really long video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.